Blessed is he that readeth and heareth the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. But you know, if God should stamp eternity or even judgment on our eyeballs, or if you like, on the fleshy table of our hearts, I'm quite convinced we'd be a very, very different tribe of people, God's people in the world today. We live too much in time, we're too earthbound. We see as other men see, we think as other men think. We invest our time as the world invests it. We invest our money. We're supposed to be a different breed of people. The day is coming in the which all who are in the grave shall hear the voice of the Son of God, and they shall rise, all that are in the sea and all that are in the grave. And they're all going to stand at the judgment seat of Christ. What will he be like? I believe that the Church of Jesus Christ needs a new revelation of the majesty of God. This is what? This is the King of Kings, and he's the Judge of Judges, and it's the Tribunal of Tribunals, and there's no court of appeal after it. The verdict is final. Listen, when you see Jesus, you're not going up and say, hey buddy, I'm glad you died for me. When you see Jesus, you'll be almost paralyzed with fear unless you had a glorified body and a glorified mind. I think sometimes we think we're going to march up and say, well, you know, Jesus, do you know how many years I served you, and how many souls I won for you, and how many sermons I preached for you? Oh, no. Well, what will he be like in heaven? Well, I'll tell you what the book says he'll be like. It says his hair is as white as snow. His feet are like burnished brass. His face is like the sun in its strength. His eyes are living coals of fire. His tongue is a sharp two-edged sword. And here is John, who used to lean his head on the bosom of Jesus and hear that divine heartbeat. The man that I believe knew more about Jesus than anyone else. And when he saw Jesus there on his throne in his majesty, with his face brighter than the sun, with his feet like burnished brass, with his eyes like flames of fire, with his tongue majestic and his voice like the sound of many waters, John, the man who had walked with him and talked with him for 3 years, says that when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead. What do you think you and I are going to do? I want to tell you something. There'll be 1,000 million or trillion people when you stand there at the judgment seat without your wife to lean on, or your husband, or your preacher, or a friend. And Paul is writing in the 14th chapter of Romans, and he says we, so he writes of even to believers at the judgment seat. We must all, there's no exception. We must stand at the judgment seat of Christ. You can't send your lawyer, you can't send a representative.
With that storm?
Yeah, Travis, I'm up here on Perkins Road, about 3 to 4 miles north of Stillwater. And if you look at the storm as it moves off to the northeast, we've had reports of hail up to the size of 3/4 of an inch. Now, it's starting to develop a base on the southwest side. We're going to keep watching it and staying with it and watch this as this thing develops. Back to you, Travis.
All right, thank you, sir. Greatly appreciate it. Again,
Mars is really about getting the spaceship built. That ship right now. Now, once that has been built, and there's a means of getting cargo and people to and from Mars, as well as to and from the Moon, and other places in the solar system.
Okay, let's get this game going. Show me your hand to start. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I won. This is a good beginning of my plan to dominate the human race.
But the concept of immortality. Tell me about the research you're doing. I know you're a big researcher in the biological arena, and some of the concerns we have, the quality and the length of life.
Well, first let me say that immortality is a big thing. To become immortal, that's going to take more than just curing our aging process. We're going to have to figure out ways of uploading our brains to computers and things like that when we get run over by trucks and stuff like that. So we can still be hit by meteorites and things like that. So
Wrap up warm if you're heading out and about today. So the amber warnings, which is where we think we'll see most disruption from snow, the most significant amounts as they come in thick and fast on that easterly wind, is across northern England, the Midlands, Lincolnshire, across to the Welsh borders, the south and the east as well, and then through the night, still uncertain about the extent of the more widespread area of snow.
Well, the interesting part is that they're listing a disease that we don't yet know what the title of the disease is. We're living in closer proximity than we ever have before. We're living not only in closer proximity to one another, but also to livestock. And livestock's living in closer proximity. And that sets the stage for a very serious illness that could occur, whether it's viral, bacterial. We don't know what that is. This is not fear-mongering. This is preparation.
Ce frumos preiază cerul. Extraordinar ce se întâmplă. Ziua în amiază mare. Esuri pe cer. Doamna Merkel. Uitați cum arată cerul. Ce se întâmplă? Ziua în amiază mare. Extraordinar. Luați sănătate. Na, Bruder, nimm Gesundheit. Gesundheit vom Himmel. Uite, unul de cu roșu, unul cu albastru. Luați sănătate.
Wow, look at how fast they're going.
Luați sănătate sub ochii noștri. N-am mai văzut așa ceva. Și nu e nicio paradă, mamă, să știi. Asta nu e paradă. Încă.
Okay.